Good evening. Welcome.
Thank you. Good evening, Mayor and Council. First of all, I'd like to thank you for the decision you took earlier today concerning Finlayson. It's really comforting as a resident of Victoria to know that when the facts change, you are open to changing your minds. It's an example of really good governance to do that. I want to talk a little bit, first of all, about the meeting you had on January the 9th and what happened there. At one point during that meeting, it looked as though you were going to make a decision based on assumptions, which is not a good idea for politicians or business or personal relationships. Thank goodness you took the time to dig a little deeper and expand your knowledge on the subject with the result of what happened this morning. On the question of time, I know that's very precious to you guys. The coverage that you've had in the media recently, I'm really sympathetic with. So I have one small suggestion about how you might be able to reduce that time, is that, and what happened with Finlayson as an example of that. In your community, whatever topics you're looking at, the chances are there are experts, people who know a lot about the topic that you're discussing. Why not have your staff consult with those people to produce briefing notes that you can use in your deliberations? If that had happened with Finlayson, probably that could have been done that night, January the 9th, without wasting more of your time. On other topics to do with that means really forming user groups. In terms of soccer, I just want to give myself as an example. When you just talk about soccer players, okay, what are they really like? Who are they? Who are these experts? I started playing soccer at 6. I'm now 80 and still playing. During that time, has been really a time when I have not been involved in soccer, either as a player, administrator, or a coach. That's a lot of time, a lot of experience, and I'm not the only one like that. There are a lot of people in Victoria who have that benefit of their experience which they could share with you. What I would like to see is us revisit the two-field plan that was originally in the plans for Topaz, and do it by forming a user group of soccer players to discuss with the council, or with the park staff rather, how this could be done. This was done very successfully when the first Finlayson field was built. We had a user group that worked with city staff to advise on design, on booking policy and funding. That field, second field, is really important. I'll explain a little bit about that, why later. But the thing is that you have the space, you have the plan, the only thing that's missing is the finance maybe. And maybe the user group will come up with a way to get around that. Now if they can't, at least they've tried, and at least they will have a better understanding of how the city works and their needs. And there would be not so much aggravation about, well, this council just doing that. At least they know what the real reason is it can't be done. But please give them a chance to do that. If we just go with one field on Finlayson, it has implications for the Bill Drew tournament, has implications for the Totems tournament. 3 fields is not sufficient to run those tournaments. A lot of the benefit from those tournaments come from the camaraderie that's built up between players, and that means everybody being together in the same place. Yes, there are fields in Victoria and in the region they could use, but that means driving away. They're not going to drive back again just to chat with their fellow players. It obviously has carbon footprint implications too. They're asking people to drive away in distances to play and come back.
Thanks very much, sir.